What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Timeless Movie Podcast and part 2 of our discussion of the new film from DC Studios, Superman. If you have not heard part 1, go check that out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. My brother Omar joins me to give a non-spoiler discussion and a review of the new Superman film. We give our high-level thoughts, some pros and cons, and whether we recommend you guys check it out in theaters. Now, for those that have already seen Superman and want a little bit more in-depth and more spoilers, this is the part for you. So on this section of the podcast, me and Omar talk about not only what timeless means to us, but also whether we consider the new Superman film timeless. Can we see ourselves rewatching it in the future? All right, guys, I'm going to segue over into that discussion now. Mr. Ohm, we're restructuring this. Mr. Ohm came up with a great idea. Let's talk more about why we actually are called the Timeless Movie Podcast. Let's explain to the folks that are listening.
Embrace the identity of timeless.
Why is it timeless? Not just a yes or no. So, Mr. Ohm, tell me.
You explained like what your definition of timeless it was in the beginning.
That's right.
My explanation is a little different.
Oh, tell me.
You said like what would be in your rotation like per year.
Yeah.
Mine's more like thinking about it like in the like awards aspect. The Oscars they nominate the best picture, but how often is the best picture really the most watchable movie?
Yeah.
I believe movies should be watchable.
Yeah.
Rewatchable. What's gonna keep you entertained in 10 years? And so that's what timeless is to me, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what we're deciding now. Is Superman gonna be timeless?
I also have like another kind of way that I think about it too I think about it like if we were still collecting Blu-rays or DVDs, would you spend your hard-earned money to have this in your collection?
Right.
To like want this movie and to rewatch scenes so bad that you're like, yeah, you know what? I need to own this. And that's another, I guess, identifier of something being timeless. Mr. Rome, good call out and a good ramble just in case people are still here because we're about to spoil stuff right now.
Leave.
Mr. Rome, you are the guest, man. I'm going to ask you one question. Is Superman timeless?
I have to go first?
You have to go first.
Well, it's actually pretty easy for me.
Oh, really?
Superman is timeless.
Oh, man.
What do you say?
This is going to be an interesting conversation, man. Because I also think it's timeless. All right, man. Let's start off with why.
Okay.
Give me those whys. Let's just go back and forth. Popcorn sometimes.
Back and forth? I'll start with the most obvious one.
Tell me, man.
And the one I want to talk about the most is Superman's character, right?
Yep.
That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like his character is like, to me, it's proof that James Gunn and his team like really, really understand the character. Like,
yeah.
Like his essence. They understand everything. Like what makes Superman Superman, right? Because like, like I've been going through the history of comics, right?
Mm-hmm.
I started reading Superman and Batman comics from the 40s, and I'm going all the way to present day. And like Superman, I believe, and Batman are like they're both a part of like two sides of the same coin.
Yep.
And they both represent the culture that we're living in. Where like Superman or Batman represents like the reality that we're living in. It's dark. It's gritty. It's corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
But here's Batman, who's like, and we find comfort through that because we can relate to that. And then Batman's just a man, so it's like more relatable.
Mm-hmm.
It's like here, it's now, and it provides comfort because Batman's doing something to save the day. Whereas Superman is like a view of the future. It's like a hopeful
what could be,
and or what should be.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I see that in the comics from the past. But this movie, like as soon as like I saw his like character start to like shine,
mm-hmm.
I noticed like, dude, this is exactly what I view Superman as. It's like this like shining example of what should be, or what like a good human being should be in this current day and age, you know. So for me, it's like I know it's timeless because that character's been around for what is it? 80 years?
Yeah, I think so. Over 80.
Like it's an obvious timeless because like that character doesn't go out of style. It's boring. Like a goody two shoes.
Yeah.
But that's who he is,
mm-hmm.
and you can't like tone it down. I feel like Zack Snyder Superman maybe toned it a little bit down because he wanted to make it a little cooler, But you can't do that. I feel like he has to be that good guy.
Yeah.
Where it's considered cringy or considered corny. But that's what he has to be. It's like, it's almost like John Cena. Like,
yeah.
Like John Cena has been the good guy for like 20 years, and people wanted him to turn evil, and he eventually did. But before that, it was like he wouldn't become the bad guy because he had to be the good guy, even when people booed him. And that's like, so I'm happy the way that the character turned out in this movie. Yeah. It's like, I've been seeing complaints of like, oh, he's too good or he's too nice. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
So to me, that's what makes it timeless. They got the character Superman down like perfectly, in my opinion.
Dude, well said. Dude, let's pack up, dude. That's all I think we need to say. That's all. That's it, man. Dude, that was great. That was a great monologue of just like how you feel about the character. And I think that's exactly how you represented really well. He should be the character that we aspire to be. Like, hey, he's not even a human. He's an alien. And yet he's still trying to be the best of us like that. So, dude, well said, dude. Well, you always come out with some very articulate points, man. If I can only probably ruin your point and, like I always do, ramble, and just kind of piggyback off of that. My first pro was I enjoyed that they didn't shy away from making him corny or cheesy.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like how you said, that he would say golly, and he would say, like, great line when he was like, what did he say to Crypto? He was like, what the hey, dude? And it was like, it's just stuff like that where you're like, you could see that. And this is why I asked you before in the non-spoiler section of, should people lower their expectations of his character? Because, again, what if they came from Man of Steel? They're not expecting something like that. But I like that they started off with those lines, like, golly. And, like, it just making him sound like if he's old-timey. But it was like, okay, that was a really big juxtaposition and very jarring for me of like, whoa, okay, this is definitely a different type of Superman, again, because I haven't really read comics and I've only seen the show a couple of times. But again, it made me connect with him even more because I was like, okay, if you're going to be this Boy Scout, if you're going to be this guy, then like go all in.
Own it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they did that really well. But another thing is, one of the reasons why I think this movie is timeless is because not only of David Cornsweet's performance as Superman and Clark Kent and why I was able to connect with it, but it's also because they made Superman vulnerable. Mr. Roma, I told you this since the trailer came out. I thought it was genius that the first scene that you have of Superman is bloodied, beat up, and they say it right at the beginning. Opening crawls. 3 hours ago, Superman lost his first battle. And I was like, that's the way that you get a guy that is invincible look like he is something that can be beat. And I'm like, oh, I love that because that immediately made me feel like, obviously he's not an underdog. This is his movie. I know he's not going to lose, but that gets me, a guy that never has cared about this character, to be with him and be on, like, I want to see his rise eventually so that he can overcome whatever battle stopped him at that moment. So making him vulnerable, I thought was just a clever way to and it's not only at the beginning when he gets kryptonite poisoned by Metamorpho, like they make him look hideous. They make him look everything. There was Ultraman eventually blasting lasers into his eyes. Every chance they got to make him look not clean, that was great. It was like that, just visibly showing that, yes, we know that this guy is the most powerful being in the world, but even him, he gets hurt, he gets battered, he gets bruised, but he still finds a way to get back up. And I was like, that was awesome. That's what makes a great character, a great hero, and what makes it timeless, man. That's just, gosh, man, that was good.
That was good.
That was incredible. Mr. Rome, pass it back over to you. Any other things that just call out to you of like what makes it timeless?
The movie looks really good, but I'm a single out the costume and like the set designs, right? The Superman costume looks beautiful. Mm-hmm. For some reason, what sticks out most to me is the second end credit scene where he's just standing there. Dude, the costume looks so good.
So I was actually gonna say, or not say it, but I was thinking about it. That costume seemed like it popped even more than the rest of the movie for some reason.
And he was just standing there.
Yeah.
Which makes you think maybe like when he's moving around, maybe there's like more CGI.
That could, yeah.
And when he's just standing there, it's like just the suit. You could just stare at the suit.
Yeah.
It looks really good. But I think like everybody's costume looks good, and even like not even the heroes, like Jimmy Olsen looked cool. Lois Lane looked like Lois Lane. You know, everybody's costume was really appealing to the eye, and I feel like that would make it easier to watch too. Like over and over again.
Yeah, dude, great call out. To follow up on that, set design, Fortress of Solitude, look badass. Yeah. Like everything about it, the robots that were in there,
even the robots look cool.
Yeah, like all those little details like that. Crypto looked awesome like that. Like it just, I know that it's like I know they used a design of James Gunn's dog. I think they used I think they used like his dog as like the base example, and then eventually kind of CGI'd the dog, in different scenes. But even him like that, like he always looked like appropriate. It never took me out of the experience that like I'm seeing a flying dog. I'm seeing a dog that's just as powerful as Superman maybe. But that's really good call, man. But yeah, the set design, everything about Metropolis just all felt like really tangible and real.
Yeah.
So nice, dude. Mr. Rome, I think we got to talk about the elephant in the room, man.
What?
Elephant in the room of one of the reasons why this movie is also timeless. David Cornswet as Superman, amazing. Rachel Brosnahan, Lois Lane, incredible. She's such an independent and strong kind of character.
Lois Lane was cool, man.
The supporting cast of Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, Jimmy Olsen. That was, again, credit to James Gunn for... I'm going to say this, Mr. Rome. It's probably hyperbole and recency bias. I think he's probably the best director at making side characters that are weird feel important.
Dude, I won't even argue that.
And guys, if you're listening to this, guys and girls, comment. Let me know if you agree. I don't know of another director, and again, this is just obviously my small mind that hasn't thought of all the movies in the history, right? But he just has a way to make you feel... So this is one of the questions. Never knew who Mr. Terrific was. Never even knew he was a part of the Justice League. He had no emotion on his face, yet they made him, with his writing and the dialogue that he would say, the way his delivery would be to every character, it just works so well. Guy Gardner being so cocky, so arrogant, yet every time he was on screen, I was laughing. It was and it wasn't only his bowl cut. His bowl cut was hilarious, but it was just the delivery like that. When the little kid is holding the flag, he's waiting for Superman, and said he gets Guy Gardner, and he goes, "You got an upgrade." And I was like,
it's still cool.
Yeah. It's just it filled me with joy, Omar. And I was cheering like that, but the supporting cast, man, it's just incredible. Again, going back to my other pro of everybody knows their roles, but again, James Gunn just writes these characters so well, and it makes me care. It makes me really want to invest in and want to know more. I want to know more about Hawk Girl. Did she always scream like that? I don't remember her screaming like that in the animated series. That's my only reference to her. But even that was really cool of how she would do that. And she was also a very interesting character. So to me, everything like that. Jimmy Olsen, I feel like they got the character that not only looks like him, but I feel like he has the right energy as Jimmy Olsen. And so, that's my big second reason why I think this movie is timeless, is apart from being interested in Superman and Lois, you have other characters that every rewatch, I can then care about somebody else and be and remember a line that they said. I'm like, man, this is so good.
Yeah, that's a good one, because the casting was pretty spot on.
Yeah. Mr. Rome, anything else? Any other kind of things that come to your mind that you want to bring up in regards to why this film is timeless for you?
Well, one of the main reasons why a movie could be timeless for me is the music.
Oh,
that's an easy reason to rewatch something, right?
Mm-hmm.
One track in particular is I'm pretty sure it's the Luthor track.
Ooh,
where it's it happens right at the beginning, where Superman, they beat him up, right?
Yep.
And they get a victory. Luthor and his company, they get a victory, and the song starts this cool song.
That's right.
And Luthor feels like he just got one up on Superman.
Yeah.
And it comes up again when they get to the Fortress of Solitude.
Yep.
That same song comes again, and it's this song that makes them look badass, and because they've been getting the upper hand on Superman the entire time. And so I just call out the soundtrack.
Dude, great call. I was gonna say that was gonna be one of the things, if you didn't bring it up, was the music. I thought they used the music really well whenever he was flying around, whenever he was in those action sequences. And I love that they just used you could hear the theme of John Williams, but they kind of modernized it in a really cool way. And so I've already listened to it on Spotify, Mr. Rome. And so I really, the soundtrack and the score was just really well done. So shout outs to the composers. I know John Murphy is one of them. I think Dan Fleming is the other one. If I got your names wrong, I apologize. But Yeah, it's just great stuff. Mr. Rome, speaking of Lex Luthor, Mr. Rome, we have not talked about him. We've been talking for over 30 minutes. Haven't brought him up once. I thought it was so cool how Nicholas Hoult was playing Lex Luthor. Again, very kind of reminded me of like a comic book villain. Kind of felt like the animated one, he was a little bit more like, very subtle. This Lex Luthor felt like he was more like, braggadocious. Like he felt like more, he's very extravagant, in what he wears and stuff like that. Omar, what I love most about Lex here is how obsessed he was with Superman. And I know he's always obsessed with him, right? Dude, I loved that he had full game plans of how to fight and try to beat up Superman. How he was calling out to his crew of people that worked at LexCorp and telling them 1A, 4B, 5A. And all of those were just designated moves to try to fight and stop Superman. The way that he had planned, and I think, Omar, you called it out right now, he was so many steps ahead of Superman in this movie. It's incredible. Like,
and that's how it should be. Right?
Great call.
I feel like they nailed it.
How an antagonist or how a great antagonist should be.
And especially Lex Luthor.
Yeah. Because he's not going to fight him face to face.
He can't fight Superman, so he has to beat him in a different way.
Yep.
And they did a really good job because he was evil.
Yeah.
And like he felt unstoppable.
And you know what they also nailed? I feel like they nailed the motivation. Not to show me like why he hates Superman, but I liked his reasoning. His reasoning of, hey, like the greatest humans in the world, the greatest inventors, like they never relied on something else. They never relied on a metahuman to do something more. And I think his frustrations were that people nowadays are just relying on metahumans to be their saviors, to be their inspiration. And he goes like, no, we humans have to be our own inspiration, and we have to be better. And so that's kind of what I got out of it and how I interpreted it, which is why I think he nailed it as like that, or they nailed the idea of Lex in that it's not because he's super powerful or Superman is just all great. It's just because to me, he's like, he doesn't want metahumans to be the example. He wants humans themselves, except that he has a very extreme view of like what human can do, like especially from him. He's just doing some crazy stuff in this movie. But
yeah,
does that make sense? That
wouldn't really make it timeless for me because
okay.
I do agree that's a good motivation.
Yeah.
But I feel like the motivation, it's because I like the Lex Luthor character more in the animated series. I feel like that one was to me, it was a little cooler because he was a little more untouchable. Right here, Lex Luthor, he eventually did get what's coming to him.
Yep.
But the animated series, he was like, they couldn't pin anything to him.
Yeah.
So he was a little more like unstoppable. And his motivation was more like he rules Metropolis. He's a billionaire who's got his money in politics, and he rules Metropolis. And here comes Superman, and all of a sudden, Superman's the top dog now.
Yeah.
And so now he's like, his pride's hurt. But I think his Nicholas Holt's interpretation of the character, or James Gunn's interpretation of the characters, just as good.
Yeah.
But I think I like the animated series one more.
That makes sense. You have more points of reference like that to kind of think of that character as well. I have seen the animated series and I know he was really cool, but I don't have like a clear like example of like where it really impressed me as well. So I feel like this is like really my first, similar to Superman, like my first real like character that I can then connect with of like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like why he wants to do what he does. But
it's still cool. I mean, I wasn't disappointed at all.
Let's not forget that he also had some great attire as well, Mr. Rome, for costume design.
Yeah.
Especially when he goes to the Fortress of Solitude, Dude, as we're watching the trailer right there.
He looked cool there.
Mr. Rome, before we move away from Lex, I did want to give you a little quick top 3 list that I just made up.
All right.
Top 3 villains that are ahead of the game in regards to the heroes that they face off with. Honorable mention, Lex Luthor in this movie. He was ahead of the game. I didn't include him in the top 3, though. There's a couple other ones that I want to call out. Another honorable mention, I wanted to pinpoint, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie No Country for Old Men.
Yep.
I think the villain gets away. Javier Bardem,
Yeah.
I think, gets away with that one. So he kind of wins there. Top 3, Mr. Rome, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Darth Vader and the Emperor, they win at the end. Luke ends up losing his hand. Han ends up getting frozen.
Yeah, man.
So many different stuff.
We all know the story.
So just in case somebody doesn't know.
All right.
Number 2, Dark Knight.
Yep.
Joker is ahead of the game, ahead of the curve of everybody.
Every single time.
Not only Batman, the mayor, Commissioner Gordon, no matter who it is. Number 1, Thanos, Infinity War. Because he wins.
Yeah.
He actually fulfills his destiny and collects the 6 Infinity Stones and snaps and wipes half of the universe. So, what do you think about that, man?
That was good.
Yeah?
That was good.
Thanks, man. Guys, let me know. What are your top 3 villains that are always ahead of the game against their hero? Anyone. Doesn't have to be superheroes. I know I chose a lot of superheroes because those are the prime examples, but choose whatever you want. Any other movies as well.
I probably think of Jigsaw,
Oh, actually, I was looking up Google and people were putting that, like, Saw.
That's kind of cheating because,
Because he always wins.
Yeah, he always wins. That's the point of the movie.
But yeah, just a fun little list I thought of because I was so impressed with Lex just being 3 steps ahead of Superman throughout the entire movie.
That was really, really cool.
Mr. Rome, any other items that you want to bring up about this movie being timeless? Anything else that maybe we haven't talked about? Maybe this would be a good option to, like, if you wanted to bring up a good scene or anything else, or your favorite image of the movie.
My favorite, one of my favorite scenes was, and this scene, like, it really cements, Superman is the good guy.
Mm-hmm.
He cares about protecting people more than anything else. When the Justice Gang is fighting that big alien, and what's Superman doing the whole time? He's just saving people. He saves a dog. He saves a little kid. And the funniest one, he saves a squirrel. Oh, dude. I was so happy when I saw that because, like, that's owning the good guy character.
Yeah.
We've never seen that.
Yeah.
In any superhero, anything, show, movie, video game, where a hero saves a squirrel.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate good guy, man.
And also adding on to, again, what we were talking about before of, like, why he's such a good character. Dude, he didn't even want to kill the kaiju monster.
Yeah.
He was like, we got to study it. We got to figure out where it came from. Like, what the heck this is? And Guy Gardner was like, man, what are you talking about, man? Let's get rid of this thing, man.
And I feel like that's the reaction, like, somebody would have. Like, they probably roll their eyes, like, why is this guy, like, come on, just live in the real world.
Yeah.
But that's who Superman is.
Yeah. Dude, good call, man.
What was your favorite scene or shot?
Before I go into my favorite shot, I did want to mention that one of the other things I forgot to mention about being vulnerable, I thought it was so cool how they, when an engineer put the nanobites into his nose, and again, making him seem like if he can actually be stopped. I was like, I just thought that was really cool because I don't think I've ever seen that, of, like, putting some type of, like, technology in his lungs to try to stop him from breathing.
In his
I was like,
brain too.
Yeah, on his brain.
Like, he can't use his heat vision now.
Yeah, or like stopping his eyes, and I'm like, oh, I thought that was really cool.
Genius.
Again, going back to the vulnerable item that I brought up, is that they thought of very clever ways of, like, making the audience think, like, oh crap, is that gonna stop him? I was like, no, it can't stop him. He's Superman. But I just like that they were able to do that. So I just wanted to throw that out there before I mention my favorite scene nowhere is I really, even though I love the action and I love the flying, one thing I forgot to tell you, what did you think about the flying?
I thought it was really good.
Sorry, I'm going on a side tangent, but, like, I wanted to bring it up. I saw a lot of people making fun of when the first trailer came out, and they were making fun of how hokey it looked like when he was flying because they're super close to his face.
Close to his face.
Dude, I love that. Like, I loved it when they did it in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Oh, yeah.
With Adam Warlock. And, like, just right up close to his face. Dude, that to me is cool. Like, I want to feel like I'm with him when he's flying. And even when it pans from, like, facing him to behind him, and he's just, like, going super fast, dude, I thought that was cool.
Sometimes I did think it was a little too close to his face.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because it kind of would warp his face. It looked,
yeah.
You know, when you put, like, a phone camera too close to your face, and it kind of look different.
Yeah. That was a good call.
It was still cool.
Yeah. I just want to call that out. Again, everything from the action was cool. But favorite scene, Mr. Rome, without getting into another tangent. Not an action scene. I actually really loved the scene where Lois interviews Superman in their apartment. One, because it shows you how skilled and how fierce Lois is, in that, yes, it could be Superman, it could be Clark, but these are the questions that you have to be prepared for. And she's, like, throwing these crazy questions of, like, or not crazy questions, but, like, very, like, inquisitive questions of, like, hey, like, well, did you speak to the president? Did you speak to the Secretary of Defense? Did you do this? Did you do that? And just showing off that she is one of the best journalists in this universe, like that. And just showing off, like, her knowledge of, like, hey, even though you are untouchable, even though you can't be hurt, you got to be prepared for that. And then also on the flip side, it showed, again, going back to the character of Superman, it showed how good he was. Yes, he didn't know that he had to talk to different political parties, but he's in the right in regards to his argument.
Yeah.
He's just trying to stop a war. He's trying to stop people from hurting themselves and people from dying. And so that back and forth of them having that conflict, because at that point in the story, they've been dating for 3 months. But I love that they put that kind of little bit of a divide of like, yes, Clark, I know that you're trying to be good, but you got to be thinking about this. And I'm like, well, Lois, I can't. Like, I have to do what's right. And like that
and
whole situation. Oh, man.
This like further like builds each of their characters. Where they're in a relationship, but they each have something that maybe they hold maybe even higher than the relationship.
Yep.
Clark maybe holds being Superman higher than the relationship, and Lois maybe holds being a reporter higher than the relationship. They each have like something that they're more passionate about.
But they don't say explicitly.
Yeah.
They kind of keep it to themselves, but I think they both know that like, okay, there's always going to be maybe something that takes precedent.
And that reminds me of another of my favorite scenes is when Lois, Jimmy Olsen, and Perry White are in the Daily Planet, but the whole city is like about to be destroyed, and they're working on the investigation.
Yep.
While everybody else is panicking. I love that, dude.
That was good.
Because that shows us like they put the reporting above anything else.
Yeah.
Because that shows like they're as heroic as Superman.
Yeah.
They want the truth.
No matter the cost.
No matter the cost. And like that further makes like me care about them. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, great call out, dude. Mr. Roma, if you had a favorite image of the movie, is it Superman saving the squirrel?
Nah, I don't know. I can't think of it. There's too many.
There's too many?
Do you have one that sticks out?
I do. I thought it was going to be in the trailer. There was the shot where he saves a little girl, and it's that slow-mo shot.
Yeah.
Where you just have destruction and he's just protecting her. I thought that was going to be my favorite shot. No, it's when this lady is driving away after the town is being split and this building is falling and Superman saves her from being crushed. And then she drives away and looks through her rearview mirror and you just see a bunch of smoke and the figure of Superman just rise out of the ashes.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
That's a poster.
That was incredible like that. Like, and I was like thinking of like, okay, like what other kind of epic shots? Because they had some epic shots when he was flying around fighting like the monster, and like when you could see like when the sun was behind him and like getting really close, and he like looked like he was about to like take off. And I was like, okay, those are nice shots. And then that one shot of him coming out of the smoke, breathtaking, man.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I'm sure they planned for that.
Yeah,
because it looks cool.
Yeah, amazing, man. Mr. Rome, any other thoughts? Anything else that you want to bring up? Anything that we maybe forgot to talk about in regards to Superman?
In regards to Timeless, no.
No?
I do have something that they want to talk about, though.
Tell me, man.
Ultraman.
Ooh, yeah.
I think I might be right, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's Bizarro.
Ah.
Lex Luthor creates a copy of Superman, but he ends up like deteriorating and becomes Bizarro.
Dude, that's good. See, I was going to ask you what your thoughts are about the clone, because it's like I didn't think Bizarro, because I always picture Bizarro as like somebody that's already kind of like very mutated and different, but that makes sense that over time he deteriorates because he's not an exact clone of Superman.
Yeah, that's why he's like can't think for himself, you know.
Yeah, dude, that's a great call. What did you think of that swerve, like that Ultraman was Superman, or did you already know?
I didn't know, and I couldn't tell. Like even when he took his mask, I couldn't tell it was him.
It took me a while. The hair messed it up because he had like brownish hair.
I was like, who is that?
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool swerve. Not to end on nitpicks, Mr. Rome, but did you have any? Like,
sometimes the dialogue was a little like maybe a little forced. Like, do you remember like when the engineer was like, that's why I sacrificed my humanity.
Dude, I'm holding Mr. Rome. You guys can't see me. I'm holding Mr. Rome. Dude, that was the one line that when that happened, I was like,
oh
no.
I didn't like that.
I got nervous. I was like, oh no. Like, don't tell me that she's going to have lines like that. Or don't tell me that other characters are going to have lines like that. I got a little nervous at the end too when Superman was doing his speech to Lex like that. It's like of him wanting to be a better human like that, or wanting to kind of show the good example. And I was like, okay, I got a little nervous that it was going to be something like that, but it worked.
But I feel like that fits his character, even if it was
yeah,
forced.
But yeah, dude, that's funny that the same line is what I also tracked when that happened. I only had one slight kind of nitpick, which was I didn't understand Lex's plan to own or be a king of a country. I don't know what the purpose of other than like he wants to have a utopia of maybe like no metahumans, but I feel like it was just kind of like added on. Like I was sufficient with what he was trying to do of basically just stopping and really putting like Superman in a position where he's the bad guy, he's the villain. I don't know. It didn't bring down my experience, but it made me question like, well, what the heck is the purpose of him owning a country and having that? I don't know if that's referenced in anything in the animated series or Justice League Unlimited, but I don't know. I didn't really know like if does he really want to be king of a country? I mean, he loves Metropolis. So like, why would he want to move? You know, so
he's like, I think the point of Lex is like he's like a narcissist. Who wants to like control everything.
Yeah.
And there's like an alternate reality where he does become president of the United States. So like I think he does like he wants power, you know.
Got it.
He wants control. That's why. But I know. I guess it didn't technically doesn't really fit in the story.
Yeah.
But when they said that, I was like, yeah, I mean that tracks. You know, that makes sense. For his character.
Nice. Yeah, those are the only things, man. That's all I had. Dude, I think this is really good, man. This is I can't wait to watch this movie again. We have tickets to go see it again. I wish it was in IMAX or Dolby Cinema. Yeah. But guys, those are our full spoiler thoughts and even non-spoiler at the beginning of this podcast. More importantly, what do you guys think about Superman? Have you had a chance to check it out? Let me know down below in the comments if you're listening on YouTube. Leave a comment. Let me know if you enjoyed this, who was your favorite character, and if you think this movie is timeless. And if you don't, let us know some reasons why. Would love to interact and get your guys' opinions. Leave some comments on Spotify and just, again, leave reviews. Would love to hear you guys' feedback about this podcast and how we can do a lot better. Mr. Rome, can't thank you enough, man, for doing this podcast with me and talking about this great movie. I can't wait to see where it lands in our top 10. That's for a future discussion later on this year. Mr. Rome, again, appreciate you, man. Can't wait for you to come out in episode 145. This has been Omar Vasquez and Victor Vasquez from the Timeless Movie Podcast. Make sure to check out next week's episode as we cover a new movie. And this movie is going to be A24's Eddington. We'll see how that one is, and we'll decide if it is timeless. Guys, if I can leave you with one other note, one other comment. Mr. Rome, can you guess what it might be?
Up in the way?
No, man. It's going to be look up.
Again?
The Timeless Movie Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. All right, guys. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you later.